Britt, did the Yankees need to do more this offseason to be all in?
I don't think so, Sal. I mean, if you go back and you look at offseason trade grades, the Yankees almost universally got either A's or B pluses. So, getting Juan Soto, probably a first ballot Hall of Famer, the career track he's on right now at 25 years old, and adding Marcus Stroman was a really solid offseason, was better than, outside of the Dodgers, you can make the case pretty much everybody in baseball. So it's easy to look now and pick it apart. It was easy in April when Garrett Cole went down to say they need more starters, and they covered then. I think if they weren't playing so terribly these last 6 weeks, and if they had maybe started out of the gate this terribly, we would be less in that panic mode concerning them. All these games in mid to late July get overanalyzed to death because the trade deadline is coming up, because the window to actually improve your team is going away. So I don't think they should have done more this winter. I agree with Stephanie and Tony in that they should make some considerable moves here at the deadline. They do have ways to get better, and I think they are going to do that. I think they are going to be aggressive and push those chips in. But as for this winter, on paper, the Yankees looked like a very formidable team, and in stretches, that's exactly what they have been this season. We just haven't seen that team consistently in the last month and a half.
Yeah, I think it's such revisionist history to say that the offseason should have gone differently. They were, as Britt said, a very good team on paper heading into the season, and some of the problems have not been because of what they did or didn't do. And, what does going all in mean? They traded for Juan Soto. They got Juan Soto, right? So what were they supposed to do? Get Blake Snell, who's barely pitched and been bad when he's pitched? Get Jordan Montgomery, who's been horrible when he's pitched, who signed late? Those were the things you could have done to go, quote, all in, and they would have been bad moves in retrospect for the Yankees. So I'm not sure there's a lot they could have done different in the offseason, and I'll go back to it again now that the season is here. What they can do differently is play better.
Right.
Period. They have the personnel to do it. You stack up those rosters,
well,
they're as good as anyone.
Do they?
I think they do.
Because it is revisionist history to some, not to me, because I didn't think the Yankees did enough this offseason. Because remember, last year they did not make the playoffs. I'm not making that up. The Yankees did not make the playoffs last year. Then they kept almost all their players. LeMahieu, Rizzo, Torres, Stanton. How are all those guys doing right now? Stanton's hurt. Shock to no one. He's hurt. LeMahieu looks like he's washed up. Rizzo's hurt, and he looks like he's done. Gleyber Torres, nobody wants him here. These are all the same guys that struggled a year ago. Not to mention the starting rotation, not to mention the bullpen. Yeah, they added Juan Soto, which is a great move, but was it enough to really fix their problems? And honestly, I got fooled in the beginning of the year because they were playing like the best team in baseball. I'm thinking, you know what? The Soto effect was real. Up and down that lineup. Look at how great this is. The starting pitching was great as well. And now it's not been a bad stretch. It's not been 2 or 3 weeks. It's been, as Britt said, a month and a half. We're talking about 6 weeks. Look, the Yankees should make the playoffs, and they're going to try to add. I just don't see this particular team being a World Series winning team, which should have been the goal coming into the year.